For your winner by unanimous decision, DDP Dricus Du Plessis.
Blocked. Usman looks for the hook. Oh, good uppercut from Dricus again. And he ducks and shoots. Usman whiffs on the punches. Lands a shot there. Dricus covers well. He's good. Body shots from Usman. Oh, big right hook back from Dricus at the end. There you go. Usman had a little moment. There you go. Good for him. That's good little aura redemption there at the end to throw some shots. But yeah, Dricus beat the pitch.
Just had a devastating loss. How does your takedown defense look in this one? How did it look? Kamaru Usman didn't get a single takedown and went 0 for 7. Pretty good is what I would say. There was one takedown that Kamaru Usman got, but he could never establish any kind of control on the ground.
It's a little tough to get going. I took kind of like a thumb punch in the eye early on, and that kind of blurred the vision a bit, but you know, no excuses. It is what it is. It's pretty comfortable. Like I said, he's a big boy, and you know, when you start seeing two of the big boys, and he's got kind of, like I said, it's a weird rangy shots, so it's kind of a little delayed to get out of the way of those shots, you know, seeing them. But, you know, no excuses. It's tough to be on this side. I'm not used to being on this side. So, yeah, kind of sucks.
Do you feel better at 185, or are you happy to go back down to 170?
Like I said, it doesn't matter. I can make both. It's not 170 is a cut, but it's, at the end of the day, I'm not the biggest welterweight. So, you know, it is what it is. You deal with it. If there's opportunities there, I'm going to go there. If the opportunities up here, I'm going to stay here. So there's really it doesn't matter. You know, it sucks that I wasn't victorious tonight, because we're having a complete conversation, different conversation, had I went out and been able to execute the way that I wanted. So I guess this is my time of not being able to execute like I've done to most guys.
I don't know. Obviously a great fight, you know, fighting a much bigger guy, and he's got a great chin. He's still got it. It's not like it's like, oh, Usman's done and he should retire. He had a great fight tonight. So yeah, I don't know. He's got to go home, rest, heal up, and figure out what's next.
Who do you think will be next against Strickland?
I don't think about that shit tonight. You know, he just fought a great fight, looked good, and you know, we'll go back to the lab on Tuesday and start kicking it around.
Kamaru Usman has reacted after his fight with Dricus Du Plessis, but were the experts' predictions actually correct? Let's break it all down. Following his loss to Dricus Du Plessis, Kamaru Usman shared his reaction to the official decision, making it clear that he did not fully agree with the judges' scorecards. While he respected the outcome of the contest, Usman expressed his belief that the fight was closer than the final score suggested, adding another talking point to an already highly discussed championship matchup.
Yeah, it's you know, it's tough. It's hard to be on this side of it, and I'm not used to being on this side. I hate to even bring up hearing that score or dealing with the score, because that's one thing that I kind of pattern myself is I never care about the score because I'm dominating. Yeah, I didn't like it, but it is what it is. I just couldn't necessarily get going. He was big, strong, he's rangy, you know, so it was a little tough to get going. I took kind of like a thumb punch in the eye early on, and that kind of blurred the vision a bit, but you know, no excuses. It is what it is.
Plessis dominates Kamaru Usman in a kind of sad but also very inspiring performance from both. And I'll get into why in a second. We also had standout performances from Chase Hooper, great submission. Tommy McMillan, Tommy the American Gangster McMillan. We'll talk about those as well. But what just happened? UFC Fight Night Oklahoma City, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so like I said, let's start with the main event. Might as well. Dricus Du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman at 185 pounds. Kamaru moving up after a legendary career at 170. Fought everybody, beat a lot of people. Both these men have beat the current middleweight champion of the world. That just shows you how much parity's in the UFC right now. Best can beat best on any given night. Dricus obviously coming off the loss to Hamza Chimaev. A little bit of a layoff since then. Kamaru Usman coming off of another layoff, but also a big win over Joaquin Buckley over a year ago now, I guess, or maybe a year to the day. No, over a year ago. But regardless, you knew this was going to be an uphill battle for Kamaru Usman. Dricus Du Plessis is a massive middleweight. He is only a 220-pound guy, and, you know, obviously, coming off the Hamzat loss, there were going to be adjustments there. Usman's 39 years old, you know, moving up from 170, and his main objective was to try to eliminate the standing back and forth, I would assume, from Dricus, or at least strike to get to grappling, none of which he was able to do tonight because Dricus was just as clumsy as he looks, as crazy as his strikes are, and as head-scratching as some of the techniques look to people. They work. I don't understand it. And then at some points I do understand it. It looked like a great game plan tonight, but some of the stuff he does doesn't look like it should make any sense. He almost looks like he knows how to not fight, but also doesn't know and still does fight. It's a very interesting style. Again, it's Dricus Du Plessis, one of the best in the world.
Before Dricus Du Plessis and Kamaru Usman stepped into the octagon, fighters, coaches, former champions, and analysts across the MMA world offered a wide range of predictions about how the contest would unfold. Now that the official result is known, it's interesting to look back and compare those predictions with what actually happened. Among those who shared their opinion was Islam Makhachev, who believed Du Plessis had the advantage going into the fight. Makhachev understood why Usman decided to compete at middleweight and noted that a victory could have placed him immediately back into title contention because of his previous win over Sean Strickland. However, he ultimately predicted Du Plessis to retain the upper hand, suggesting that Usman's past knee injuries could become an important factor over 5 rounds.
Этот вопрос, как профессионалу. Камару Усман, Дрикус Ду Плесси завтра дерутся, кто выиграет?
Смотри, это что за Камару Усман? Хитрый ход, оказывается, сделал. Я думал, зачем он наверх перешел? Выигрывает он Ду Плесси, он становится контендером. Знаешь почему? Потому что он уже выигрывал Стрикленда. Из-за этого он решил рискнуть. Будет тяжелый бой. Будет пытаться, я думаю, бороться. И когда это вы?
Сегодня? Они завтра дерутся.
Ай, блин. Я думаю, чисто Ду Плесси выиграет.
Ду Плесси?
Камару колени больные, бороться за остановку.
A similar prediction came from MMA Guru, who also favored Dricus Du Plessis heading into the matchup. Although he acknowledged that Du Plessis had faced difficult moments in previous fights, including against Khamzat Chimaev, he believed Usman would struggle to maintain dominant control over 5 championship rounds. In his opinion, a 3-round contest may have given Usman a stronger opportunity, but he felt the full championship distance would favor the reigning champion.
But I'm still rooting for Dricus Du Plessis, and I think he beats Kamaru Usman here. I do. Now, there is, of course, going to be the narrative, and this is something that everyone's going to bring up when it comes to this matchup. Dricus Du Plessis got out-grappled by Khamzat Chimaev for 5 straight rounds, and he got held down by Khamzat Chimaev, and that's a big weakness in his game, and he can be out-grappled. Is Usman going to be able to out-grapple Dricus Du Plessis for 5 straight rounds? I would worry more for Dricus if this was a 3-round fight, because I could see Usman securing 2, and then maybe the 3rd Dricus does well, but it's not enough type of thing, you know? But the fact that this is a 5-rounder, I don't think Usman's going to be able to survive 25 minutes in a cage fight with Dricus Du Plessis. That's what it comes down to. And I don't think he's going to submit Dricus. And I don't think he's going to KO Dricus Du Plessis.
Continuing his breakdown, MMA Guru explained several reasons behind his prediction. He believed Du Plessis entered the fight with advantages in youth,